Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pressing Matters. This set is always changing. I never get up this early to make a video, but I need to maximize my time, I thought. So I was like, maybe I should make a video before I go to work. And I did want to discuss this subject. We're going to be talking about the Chess 75th anniversary releases of Howlin, Wolf, and Muddy Waters in a moment. I want to kind of give you a brief documentation of my journey with blues, which is very short. I think like most audiophiles, I started with what I knew to be one of the best sounding blues albums. I chose this for my first record, blues record, when Mobile Fidelity put this out. Muddy Waters, folk singer, acknowledged as one of the best sounding blues records ever, and it is. I liked it so much that I bought the 2x45 from Analog Productions and the one step as well. The one step I ended up selling because I just didn't need 3 copies of it and it was taking up a lot of space. So I let it go for a very good price in my last sale. But from there, I didn't know where to go next. I was like, let me wait for a sign. And that sign came from someone that's in our orbit that's actually a blues expert and is the person reissuing these records. One day, Chad Kasem made a video and he talked about the Prestige series. And he said something that caught my attention. He said, this record, Lightnin' Hopkins Going Away, is great. He said it has sound that is in the realm of what you hear on Muddy Waters Folk Singer. That's all I needed to hear. I was like, I'm getting that one, and I loved it. Absolutely loved that. From there, I kind of went out on my own without too much guidance. So these are the 3, or the other 2 that I got. One is from the Bluesville series. It is another Lightnin' Hopkins record called Last Night Blues, and I really like that as well. And then I got my first John Lee Hooker record, Burnin' Hell. So, you know, you can say that I have very little experience with blues. It's really an exploration that's in its infancy. So one thing that I have discovered, though, is you cannot expect audiophile quality records like folk singer as a rule. They are the exception. Most blues records, of course, in the 78 era, but also in the early 50s, they're a little rough around the edges. And these are no exception, these 2 from the Chess series. And even some of these Bluesville ones, they don't approach that pinnacle of sound quality like Muddy Waters Folk Singer. So I just wanted to make this video to introduce these 2 titles to you, but also to say, if you're thinking of doing this journey, you need to put aside that audiophile hat and focus on performance. That's where this music really shines. It's not about sound quality as a rule. And these 2 reissues from the Chess 75 series kind of drove that home for me. These are beautifully done reissues. I was really surprised, actually, how elaborate they went with this. I thought they would be kind of like the Bluesville series in a single pocket jacket, but no. These are in glossy tone poet style gatefolds, you know, just really beautiful with original labels and so forth. Here's the Muddy Waters one. I mean, they're stunning. They're very, very beautiful. These tapes are mastered at the mastering lab by Matt Luthans, so that's another plus, and they're pressed at QRP. All good things. When you actually play these, you realize, okay, these are collections of recordings that were not done as a complete album. They're singles that Chess had put out or whatever, and you know, they collected a bunch and then made a best of record. That's how that worked. But once I put aside the idea of getting audiophile sound quality out of these records, I really could focus on the performances, and that's where the magic lies in blues. It's really not about the sound, it's about the authenticity. And these recordings have an authentic feel to them, a grit, a period charm that is very, very attractive for someone that wants to delve into the blues on a certain level. You're starting with two of the masters of the blues. So most of the time it's just guitar and voice, sometimes harmonica, sometimes a bass. You can sense that the recording venues and engineers were not top-notch in these records. But the pressings and masterings of these tapes are, and that's where the difference lies. I think if you try to find originals of either of these, they cost you quite a bit of money, and they won't be like this. Chess records, from my experience picking up a few over the years, they went right back out because they're pressed so poorly on the worst quality vinyl. So I think Chad Kassem is doing a great service to music by putting these out in editions which will probably never be equaled. I really enjoyed both of them. I think this one is perhaps a little better sound-wise than the Howlin' Wolf. It had some stuff that I recognized that was reworked for classic rock era. I Just Want to Make Love to You's on here, Long Distance Call, Louisiana Blues, Honeybee, Rolling Stone, I'm Ready, Hoochie Coochie, She Moves Me, I Want You to Love Me, Standing Around Crying, Still a Fool, and I Can't Be Satisfied. All classic tracks. It's so much fun to listen to Muddy Waters perform these. And as I listened to it, I thought back to Folk Singer and how polished that is compared to this. But this is just as enjoyable on its own level. This is recommended with the caveat that you are aware that you're going to get a little bit rough and ready kind of sound quality out of it. This even more so. The Howlin' Wolf, the first track is like, oh my God, there's distortions everywhere on it. Anytime the volume goes up, like he's shouting or a harmonica or something like that, it gets a little distorted, like it was too close to the mic. Obviously, these were, not carefully placed microphones. It was just capturing the moment, capturing a very special moment. And this record is a rarity in its original form. You'll pay a lot of money to get an original of this, and it's not going to sound like this. These are really good masterings of these tapes. Whatever faults they may have, what you're hearing is a very honest representation of what's there. Both are in mono. Both are mastered by Matt Luthans at the mastering lab. They are done on tube equipment. So there is perhaps a little bit of tube warmth added to the sound, which is great. I have no desire to search out originals of these, and I couldn't afford them anyway. So getting classic albums like this back in print is an important thing. And I just wanted to let you know what to expect if you're going to go down this path. Now, I think the next two coming out will be of better sound quality. I think it's Chuck Berry on top and Etta James at last. I think those are going to be a little bit better in terms of sound quality, but this is a really interesting start to the series. Two very rare records that haven't been available for in legitimate issues for years. There's a lot of gray market stuff around for these two albums. So get the best, get the Chess 75 series from Acoustic Sounds. These are probably going to be the definitive copies of these records. So let me know what you think about the blues, if you've started your journey on the blues, and if you have any advice for me, I'd love to hear it. Until next time, I'm Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.